Greetings and salutations. It's time for Friday Night Draw. How are we doing, everybody? I'm joined with Rodney Fyke, as usual. How are we doing, sir?
Hey, buddy, I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Not too bad, not too bad. Trying to figure out, I just got a notification right as we go live that says your package is on the way. I have no idea what it is.
It's like Christmas in October.
It is. Hey, what do you know? Justin's already in the house.
What's up, Justin? How we doing, buddy?
It's Friday. We got several TV shows that have dropped and hit the airwaves that we've got to partake in.
Oh, yeah.
We won't discuss any spoilers for this week's episodes as usual. Hopefully, we're in the clear to talk Werewolf by Night because that was incredible.
Yeah. What's it called? The exemption has passed.
Yes. Cameron's here. Justin says it's just a Friday night. Friday night, but you got Rodney and I here to keep you company.
There you go. What more could you want?
So, we got 4 folks in the house. So anybody tune in, chime in the chat there, the comments. Let us know you're here and watching and joining our nerdery.
Say hi.
So before we dive into the meat of our crazy talks, any fun crazy stuff happened today before we like totally nerd out on stuff?
Not that I'm aware of. It's pretty straightforward. Just spent all day writing, pretty much.
Fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun and frustrating at the same time.
Right.
But I got a good chunk done. I was able to link two sections of the story together that I was having trouble with. I finally conquered that, so I'm pretty happy about that. So yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I went with producer A. We had to run some errands, and she was getting her hair done, and she let me venture off into the Michaels by myself, and Halloween decorations are 50% off right now.
Uh-oh.
Got me a skeleton. It was regularly $80 between coupons and other stuff I had from Michaels.
Yeah.
I spent a total of $41.
How big is this skeleton?
It's only like a 5.5 foot skeleton. It's not very big.
I know the one you're talking about. We saw it there a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna pay $80 for it, but I saw it today and it was like half price plus, we had some rewards and stuff, and I'm like, all right, I can warrant this now.
Yeah, that's true. Justin, I agree totally.
Yeah, I do too.
It's like we watched it and I'm like, okay, now what? Is there more? Oh.
It's like I'm thirsty for more. Give me more.
Yeah, it's like I did to Homer Simpson. Oh.
Right. Yeah, Michael Giacino, man, he surprised the heck out of me.
Tell you what, man, he's quickly turning as over the last few years has really turned into like the next whoever.
Yeah, I mean, everything he's done, composer wise, has been excellent, and this is his directorial debut, and feels like he knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, I would agree. And the cool thing about it for me was I felt like I was 10 years old again.
Yeah.
And I was like, we were talking about Stranger Things last night, and it just takes me personally back to the 80s, and this just took me back to the 70s, and reading all those, like, just reminded me of all those summertime fun specials that there were, and how much fun it was to read those. You get a 48 page or 64 page book and you read it all summer long, again and again and again, until it was just falling apart.
Yeah.
Just loved it.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It definitely had that nostalgia vibe, and it had the feel of the old Dracula, Wolfman, all that.
Yeah.
And I'm real surprised I haven't got a text or something from Sirloin freaking out about Man-Thing yet.
Really?
Yeah, he hasn't said anything yet, so I don't know if he's watched it. And I don't want to go and spoil it for him.
Did he suffocate with some drywall dust or what? Where's he at?
I don't know. He's kind of been off the radar here lately.
No, when I saw Man-Thing, I just like lit up like a Christmas tree. I was like, oh, sweet.
Right?
There he is. There he is. And I love how we got him in black and white and in color.
Yes.
And the lady that played the daughter,
Elsa Bloodstone.
Yeah, I've been trying to. She was in something else that I can't remember what it was.
I'm familiar with her from like last year. She was on the HBO show. I am blanking on the name of it. I want to say The Nevers. Not sure if that's right. It was an HBO show. It was like kind of a Joss Whedon idea that they were spinning off, and it was set in like Victorian times, and like aliens come to the planet and do all sorts of crazy stuff. And she was the lead in the show, and she plays kind of like a detective, I guess. Scott said she was in Walking Dead.
That might be.
I didn't realize that. That was the HBO show was the first thing I'd seen her in. Now I'm blanking on her name.
I might be remembering her from Walking Dead.
That could be.
Yeah, it's something that's been relatively recent. She kind of reminded me of who's the actress that plays Jessica Jones.
Yeah, she does look a lot like her. Let's see. Justin says he thinks the Nevers. I think that's what it was. Is the werewolf design different in the comics? I was hoping for more wolf. I was hoping for more wolf too. What they gave us in the show almost looked like man wolf, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
In the comics, he is like a full blown, like wolf looking, humanoid creature.
Werewolf.
Yeah, he's a full on werewolf, like the snout, the whole bit. I am, and Scott said, where was it? He's got a theory on the werewolf's place in the MCU. I'm thinking he's already working for somebody, because it kind of played off like somebody gave him that explosive device.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I definitely picked up on that myself.
So is it like, we already got the Midnight Suns running somewhere that we're not familiar with? Is he partnered up with Blade? He's working with Whistler. So many things.
Well, let's see. I don't remember what was Blade's relationship with werewolves. They never addressed that, did they?
Not like, I'm not familiar with it. Whatever they did in the comics. In the movies, they kind of introduced that idea in a cutscene at the end of the third movie. It was actually supposed to be Jack Russell at the end of the movie. It was supposed to be Werewolf by Night. In the comics, I mean, I know he ends up, at least that I'm familiar with, teams up with Jack as part of the Midnight Suns. I don't know, anybody watching and listening, if you know better than us, chime in.
Ryan's in the house, and he says, well, we wait for somebody to chime in on that. He says, thoughts on Andor? I dug it. Finally got to see some serious action. I was very happy with it.
Yeah, Andor was great.
Yeah. So it's green and then light blue.
Don't forget about Scott.
We won't.
Yes, we'll get there here in a moment. Go through questions real quick, and then we'll do that. Oh, Justin said Outlander. Maybe that may have been where that actress is from. Edward's waiting on Thursday to see Black Adam.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. This guy says Loki season 1, the TVA mentioned they have a nightmare department. I think the soldiers and werewolf were TVA. A lot of people were thinking they were TVA. But it looks like that was just like the Bloodstones, like personal security force. But I could totally see that coming in. And he also mentioned that they said they had a nightmare department and they had vampires, which that was the I think at that point that was like the second mention of vampires in the MCU.
Yeah.
First one being Korg talking about Thor's poking stick there. I think we're gonna get a whole lot of fun with the horror elements of the MCU very, very soon.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much of it, so that's just gonna be cool. Can't wait.
Let's see. I think I'm still missing stuff. She-Hulk is amazing. Loved it. Yes, She-Hulk was awesome. Andor's definitely killing it. Ryan said, will Wesley make a cameo in the new Blade movie? Wesley.
I think he means Whistler.
Okay. Yeah, I'm assuming so. I'm assuming he'll be more than a cameo. I think it'll probably be like a main feature of it.
So have you heard anything about they fired the director because Ali was unhappy with the direction the movie was going?
So far that seems to hold true. They played it off like it was a mutual he was leaving. But then they halted production of it and they're holding off until they get a new director and stuff. So that'll probably give him time for rewrites. So it does seem very plausible that is the case.
Should be interesting. For sure.
I think they should just give it to Michael Giacchino right now.
Yeah, right. Maybe he saw an advanced cut of Werewolf by Night and he's like, no, we need this too.
I hope so. Let's see. Ryan met Wesley Snipes.
Oh. I don't know.
He might. I'm not sure if they'll go that route.
I don't know. All the stories I heard about how difficult he was with the last two movies.
Yeah.
They might be like, you had your chance.
Right. All right. I think I caught up on this stuff. We still need to watch Rings of Power.
Yeah.
All right. Let's bring a friend in here and chat some Kickstarter real quick. So I'm gonna hit the button here, hopefully, and make it work. There we go.
Hey guys.
What's happening, brother?
Doing well. You guys?
Doing good.
Yeah.
Doing good.
Yeah, I was also like you guys. I really enjoyed the Werewolf by Night. I have a quick story I can share, a little behind the scenes story I found out the other day.
Let's hear
So a good friend of mine, Chris Scalf, he's an amazing artist. He's actually been my mentor over the years for a lot of my artwork. And I found out he's in the credits on Werewolf by Night. And he worked on the design of Man-Thing.
I saw his post on it. That is flipping awesome, man.
Yeah, so he told me the backstory behind it. They contacted him. He hadn't applied for it. They found him online and they reached out to him, but they were using fake names and fake company names and fake project names. So he just thought it was like some horror fan, some guy working out of his basement trying to hire him. So he's like, I don't really like horror, which he loves horror. So he kept trying to blow them off and they kept coming back. So finally, just to get rid of him, he agreed. And when he got the contract, once he signed the contracts, he found out it was for Marvel and
that's awesome.
And all this stuff. So, and he worked on the Man-Thing design. So that was really cool to find out. But so he tried really hard to get rid of them.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, because when they do these projects, it's all top secret till you sign your NDA. So, he had no idea it was for Marvel.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so otherwise known as Ted. I love the use of Ted.
Yeah.
Wonder how many talented people they miss out on because they don't respond because they think it's junk mail.
Oh yeah. Well, even like you'll hear a bunch of celebrities talk about. Well, even with Star Wars, Filoni, when he was working at Nickelodeon, his coworkers knew how much his dream job was to go to Lucasfilm, and when he got the call from Lucasfilm, he thought it was a prank, so he blew them off and hung up on them. And then he goes back and he's like, "Yeah, real funny guys," and they're all looking like, "Huh?" Then he realized it was a real call.
Oops.
Oh, it really was George Lucas. Crazy stuff.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. So you want me to talk a little the Kickstarter?
Yes. Tell us the reason you're here, what we can expect, and all things Kickstarter-ish.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know me, I'm Scott Zambelli. I'm with Bardstone Publishing, and my little baby project is Crimson Shadows. We have 3 issues currently out. We are launching the Kickstarter for issue number 4, and it's been a blast. We've been having great feedback from people on the issues. Once somebody becomes a reader, they become a dedicated reader. We have a lot of return backers on our projects, so that's been really great. But just to put it in a nutshell, our universe, we follow a character named Julius Resnick, who is having visions and dreams of different crimes that are happening, which turns out the facts of those visions and dreams coordinate with the Jack the Ripper case that's going on. So this takes place in 1888 London, and because of the events involved, we're able to bring in a lot of fun characters like Frankenstein. This is our version of Frankenstein here. And we got Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. We got Sherlock Holmes, because in real life they brought in Scotland Yard. So that's how we bring Sherlock Holmes into the case. So it's just been a lot of fun to do. And, it's good old fashioned, kind of like some people compare it to Penny Dreadful, how it's that kind of universe. Right. But what we do with our characters, our monsters, is we utilize the original novels as the source material. So Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, how she writes about Frankenstein, that's how our Frankenstein acts. Same with Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and those characters. So we've also republished some of those novels, but through the epilogue and prologues, we use our version of Dracula, who is our main antagonist in this. He narrates the prologue and epilogue to explain how the novel ties into our universe. So our universe kind of is the continuation of those stories there.
Nice. And perfect time of year with it being the spooky season here.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm going to post in the comments, if it's okay, the link to the pre-launch page.
Yes, please do.
I'll do that. We officially launch October 18th. Probably about 9 in the morning, we do the official launch. Then we'll do a launch party in the evening with Brett Pinson and Kevin Meinert. They're my partners in crime with Bardstone Publishing. So we'll kind of do our celebration stream there to talk about the early bird specials and those kind of things.
Excellent.
Now,
Yeah,
Scott, are you writing everything, or is it a group
So,
effort?
so for Crimson Shadows, I am the creator, the writer, the penciler, and the colorist, and cover artist. I turn it over to Brett, and Kevin does the inks for me.
Okay.
And then Brett does the lettering for me.
All right.
So that's what we do there. Now with Bardstone, we have other titles as well. We have a Poe Macabre Master series. That's Kevin's baby. He does the writing and most of the art there, and I do contributions there. And then Brett has some of his stuff too. So we help each other, but we each have our own like main project that each of us kind of helm, and then we cross over to each other on those things. So Crimson Shadows, my main baby, which has a lot of blood, sweat, and a lot of tears in writing this. I've taken a lot of care in the story to dive into the historical events of the Jack the Ripper case, and I'm taking a lot of real life people and events of the time and merging them into the story. So wherever possible, things like that are happening. One example, for instance, this is a real life thing. There's a newspaper article talking about this where it actually rained frogs in London at that time period. So I have an event that occurs where some magic occurs and causes the rain of frogs in London, but it ties to a real event.
That's awesome.
So I got like a lot of really obscure things. Through the power of the internet, I could find all kinds of old newspapers from that time. And because of the Jack the Ripper case, like every newspaper from London is saved. So I can read all the weird side stories going on too. And I try to weave those into the background events.
Yeah, now see, that's the kind of stuff that I get into. So
yeah, it's a lot of fun. It makes it challenging. For like, even like with Jack the Ripper, there's certain accounts of what he was dressed in for one of the murders, and then something else. He's dressed in a different way for another one. So I had to create a scene of why he changed his clothes.
Nice.
Yeah, just so it would fit the facts of the case. So, but it's been a lot of fun, and it truly is a passion project. What's exciting about issue 4 is that completes our first act. Issues 1 through 4 is our first act of the larger story. So it's probably going to be about 12 issues, the initial story. And then from there, I have a continuation, should the fans back it enough that it can go on even further past that.
I like to hear that you've got it planned out like that.
Yeah.
Because, I think all of us are, seeing stuff that hasn't been planned out like that, or somebody might have, not had that planned and tried to work it in later.
Well, with a lot of projects, and you guys know, we do tons of comic book shows, and people are always coming up with, hey, I got an idea, and they'll start throwing the idea out. But a lot of times they don't actually have a story. They have a gimmick. They have some kind of idea for a gimmick that they have, but there's no plot. There's no real development. There's no, why am I even telling this story? It's just, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, you designed a really cool gun and you just want to draw the gun.
Right.
So when you're telling a story, you need a lot more than that. So I'm using the Jack the Ripper case as the primary driver, almost like, when I brought up Walking Dead earlier, it was Tara that she played in Walking Dead. She looks different because she was pregnant when she was filming Walking Dead. So she was heavier. So she had a little bit chubbier face because of pregnancy. She's much skinnier in Werewolf by Night, and that's why she looks a little different. Just little facts that no one really cares about. But anyways, with Walking Dead, it's what made people love Walking Dead so much wasn't that, the gimmick was the zombies, but there was a story behind the characters.
Yeah.
And that drove the story forward, and the zombies was just the setting. And for any successful story, the setting is fun, and it's all the window dressings. But if you don't have a good story and good characters, nobody's going to follow it.
Right.
So we are working really hard to make the story very compelling. We have a large story arc for our main character, Julius, as well as Dracula. He has a big master plan to take over the world that slowly gets unfolded over the course of the 12 issues that will be coming out.
I like to hear that.
Yeah.
I like to hear that. No, I think it's great that you've got a 12 issue spanning story. And me personally, I like how you're connecting all the little side stories and stuff, because that's the kind of stuff that I like to do as well. So
yeah, and as far as the timeline goes, we started Bardstone in 2020. We had this grand plan, and then COVID hit and shut everything down. But it allowed us to, we still move forward, but our plan was to use the Comic-Cons to kind of launch it. And since everything got shut down for a year, that part didn't happen. So we're kind of a little behind in building the fan base the way we were hoping. But thankfully, through Kickstarter, we've been doing very well, and we've been liking where things have been going. But in the 2 years, I'm about 60% done with issue 4 right now. And I have no plans of slowing down. This is going to keep coming. I'm trying to do 2 issues a year. And so if you're a backer and you're a fan and you don't want to wait years for the next issue, don't worry. It's going to be about 6 months will be each issue is the timeline I've been going on.
And that's good.
And if I can make millions of dollars doing this, then I'm going to hire a bunch of people so that I can start coming out with them every 3 months.
There you go.
That's my real goal, is I want to get to issue every 3 months. So, but that requires backers.
It's a good goal. And you know, you got to start somewhere. I mean, Kickstarter has been a lifesaver in many ways, and you know, such a great tool to utilize.
Oh, it's amazing. It's really created a new age in comics, I think. You know, in the old days, it was pretty much there was Marvel, DC, and nothing else. And then we had a couple little other companies that came up, but now, I mean, they're no longer the gatekeepers. And you guys know that you guys come out with stuff all the time too. We can do our passion projects, get them out for everybody, and fans will come out and support it. Did you see Bill McKay's Kickstarter?
I did. Yes. Saw that today.
Yeah, he's like 70 grand or so. He's doing amazing, you know, and that's his first Kickstarter. So he's done well. He's been promoting Delusional Kim for a little bit. Had a good talk with him at Monroe Comic-Con last month, and he's doing really well. But you know, that's a great example there of the power of crowdfunding. You know?
Yeah, definitely changed the game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Bill dove in like head first with doing the book, and it's doing extremely well. And
well, where he's gotten really what went well for him and is he's been promoting this book for, I think he said, about 2 years now, and so he's just been slowly doing covers over this time period. He's got like 16 covers now, and he had a preview book he did, a little black and white preview book where he would just put the new covers on them. So for 2 years, he's been selling these preview issues. So he's built up this big pressure of support over 2 years. And now that it's come out, that pressure got to explode onto his Kickstarter, which is really good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Not to mention, he did well on all these preview issues. I'm like, wait, why even come out with the book? I'm just going to draw 5 pages and just sell them as preview issues.
It's like the ash cans from the 90s.
Yeah, that's kind of what he was doing. Yeah. He was professionally printing them, but it was the black and white, lower quality paper just to get these previews out. So the covers were well paid for before he even got to the Kickstarter, which was nice. So I'm sitting there going, just started doing 5-page storylines.
Yeah, exactly. File that away. Yep. It's a good idea.
Your drawings are looking good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, what can folks expect in this Kickstarter? Anything you guys are changing up? You know, adding something different you haven't offered as a reward or a stretch goal or anything?
So we have an early bird special where you get, people love the variant covers. Usually our complete package does the best. We're going to have 6 covers. We have what we call the unlimited edition cover, which is drawn by me. I wonder if If I send the link to the preview page, could she put that up? Oh wait, I can share, can't I?
Yes. Yeah.
I have the
Yeah.
power to share. I'm not used to being a guest, so let me share my screen here. Okay, I got my screen shared.
Let's see. I'm working on it.
Okay, so this is our preview of the Kickstarter. So this is what you'll see once we launch. And our minimum goal is just $2,000. We should hit that, no problem. But we got our early bird special, the first 48 to 72 hours, all 6 covers. And I'll show you the covers a little bit more detail. But you save $37 when you buy it this way. So that's a nice way to go. But I'll just get straight to the covers here. So we have 6 covers. I did 3 of them. And Kevin did 2 and Brett did 1. So upper left corner here, this is our ultra limited edition. It's going to be a minimum of 50. If more people order than 50, then we'll do a higher print run. But this will be printed on a metal cover. Features Frankenstein looking all sad and lonely in an alleyway here. Our unlimited edition, that cover we reserved the right to reprint down the road if we want. That's drawn by me. I got Dracula's victim here all tied up. Then we got a limited edition by Kevin. This will be a minimum of 75 printed copies. This one's in full color. Then we have a black and white on red metal foil. I'll show you in a moment. But one of our plague doctors is not having a good day there. The next one on the right-hand side here, this is my homage cover to Lee Elias. He did one of the classic horror covers back in 1953 for a comic book called Chambers of Chills, issue number 19, where you're looking through the wine glass and you see the skull of the woman sitting across from him. So I did that scene here. This is the girl who is in this scene here. So this is kind of the before and after the wine. Nice. So, before and after Bill Cosby. But so this is my homage cover to Lee Elias. I love how it turned out. Next, we have a limited edition cover by Brett Pinson. He's our letterer for the series. This is his cover here, featuring the Plague Doctor's mask broken and stabbed through the eye. And then we got the foil edition, which is Kevin's work also. It's in grayscale, but the blood will be red metallic foil accents.
Oh, nice.
Really make it pop. So those are our 6 covers. And through the early bird special, you can get all 6 of them. Plus you get the digital edition for $90, which is a good price because our metals our normal price for the metal alone is $35. And we usually sell out of our metal copies. If we don't sell out at the Kickstarter, we're usually sold out the very next show we go to. So those sell the fastest. So secure them. And then we have, this is an idea I stole from somebody else out there. Can't give credit to it though, because I don't remember who. Maybe it was you guys. These are 1-of-1 print runs. They're going to be printed on metal with gold monochromatic tones. Only one will be printed ever of each of these, and it will be printed on the cover 1-of-1. We'll never print the gold versions ever again. And they're $99 each. You get 1 issue. So it's a 1-of-1 print run. I saw this on somebody else's and they sold out of all of them. So I thought, well, I'll try it.
Yeah, we did that same thing. I saw Marat doing it, and Jacob Bear was doing it when I was working on his last book. So it's like, yeah, we're totally swiping that.
Yeah. So actually, since I follow both of them, I probably stole it from them. Right. Sorry, guys. And then we have our regular reward packages. If you want individual issues, you do get the digital copy with the individual issues. And for the limited editions, we also include a copy of the unlimited edition. That way, if you want to keep the limited edition unread, you can read the interiors of the unlimited. So we do that with those. And that's about it. Oh, and then if you're a retailer out there, we do have a package where I will do a custom cover, an exclusive for you, a retailer variant. You get 100 copies printed and your retailer's logo put onto the cover as well. So that's $1,000 for 100 copies with a custom cover.
Excellent.
That's nice.
Yeah. Then we have our add-ons. If you're not familiar, if you have not been part of the Crimson universe before, the Crimson verse, all of our past issues are available through the add-on menus. But I will say we're running very low. A lot of our different covers are sold out. So like with our issue 1, we only have 2 covers left. Issue 2, we're starting to get low. And you might recognize this one, Sean, here. We got the Sean Forney cover here. He was a guest artist for issue number 2. He's got Sherlock Holmes battling Dracula with lightning going on in the background. Good stuff. So all of these are getting low. We got Crimson Shadows 3 with their various issues. And then we have our fun other titles, Wretched Realms and other ones too. So our novels, enamel pins, stickers, all that stuff. Then we have stretch goals, which we hope to unlock as we go as well. And that's it.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I posted the link in the comments there. So anybody click on that, just hit the notify at launch button. And once I go live, you will get an email to remind you to get in there and get that early bird special so you don't miss out. We're going to be adding one other early bird special. It's not up on my screen yet. Kevin Miner is offering a 4x6 sketch along with his version of the cover, the limited edition one, full color where the face is getting torn off. So you can get that combination. So I'm just waiting for the final details from him on that one. So that will be another early bird at a lower price point than the $90 for all 6 covers.
Very cool.
There you have it, guys. Go out and support local artists.
Yes. Well, show them some love. You said 18th, so that's next Tuesday, right?
Tuesday. Yep, Tuesday. And Monday is my birthday. So you guys, if you know, it'll help support my birthday. Make me feel happier about being older.
In lieu of cards and cakes and support the Kickstarter.
Yeah, I'm going to have mounting medical bills. I'm approaching 50. I need help.
Prepay for Scott's Walker now.
That's right.
That's awesome.
Well, I appreciate you guys letting me pop on here and sharing all that.
Absolutely. We hope that gives you some help in getting the word out and get some backers going and supporting everything.
Yeah, and I'll also throw out there, you saw some of my covers. If either of you two or any other people out there, one of the power of Kickstarters is our former backers, and like with Sean and Rodney, they share all the projects they work on. And if anybody's looking for a guest artist for a variant cover, I'm also available for that. And if I work on your project, I post the links on all of my former backer sites as well through Kickstarter. So I help promote your Kickstarter in addition to doing art for you.
Exactly. We all help each other out.
Yes.
Yep.
It's that type of community.
Mm-hmm. It has to be. The people who don't want to help, and it's not like it's that they get banned. It's not like we have this official committee, but the people who are, we've been doing this a long time. You get to know each other and you form. It's about networking, and if you help each other out, you help build each other. You're building strong networking bonds, and if you don't share, you just kind of become this island, and you slowly get forgotten.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I appreciate everyone's support. The Kickstarter community is just awesome. So thank you.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. It's exciting. I mean, you guys do quality stuff, and it's awesome to see. Very happy for your success. Well deserved, because, like I said, you guys do kick-ass stuff, and
thank you.
Yeah, so
I try.
Hey, it's all we can do. It's all we can do.
Yeah,
so.
It's definitely a shift. It's interesting, the mindset, how it changed. Like when I started out, I only did fan art and pinups and all that stuff, and I always felt like the people who did comics were like snooty, and it's like they look down on the fan art and stuff. But now that I'm a creator, you look at everything different. Like when I'm looking at who do I want to hire for a cover, like there's a lot of artists out there and I'm not going to name names, but there's a lot of artists out there where I liked them as fan artists, but now it's like I'm looking to pay them to do work. It's like, nah, I'm not going to do that. You change how you look at everything. It's interesting.
Well, yeah, it's through experiences or shared experiences through your friends and stuff, and word of mouth, all of that. And you didn't realize it, but you spent 8-10 years doing recon.
Yeah. Right.
And following it away all on your little mental Rolodex. So
like, there's no way I would hire me from 10 years ago to work on them.
Right.
There's a progression, and then there's just a satisfaction. Fan art has its place, and it's fun to do. It's like I equate it to like the candy at the checkout lane. You love it, but there's something about when you sell your own book and your own characters to somebody, and they come back and they say, wow, I want another book because I loved the first one.
Yeah.
It's a whole different feeling.
And we're not piling on fan art by any means.
Oh yeah. No, we do it.
we still do it at a limited capacity, but we've always called it the necessary evil.
Yes. Yeah.
Now that Kickstarter has come about, it's not so necessary anymore.
Yeah. So, you're able to, it gives us a platform that we've never had before.
Right.
And combine that, the other aspect is printing. We use Ready Comics for ours. We love them. They're a U.S. company, and actually, I think we found them through Sean. I think, if I remember right. But we use them, and you used to have to do a minimum like 10,000 print run to make it cost effective. Now they have all these print on demand type things, and the cost is so much lower for us as creators to do, a run of 400 books instead of 10,000.
Right.
So that changed the game too. That's a big part.
And inadvertently, it makes them more collectible.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like I had heard the story of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Speaking of what Sean's drawing there, did you hear how they got so big? It was because they couldn't afford to do a good sized print run, so they did very small print runs when they would go to shows, and they would sell out quickly. Well, as they built up popularity, people started realizing, I got to get there first, or else they're going to sell out. And so they started building up this pent up demand by accident. And then when they started being successful enough, they realized they did better if they kept their print runs really low so that people would want them more.
Right.
And it caused this fever to form, like whenever they were at a show, to be one of the first ones there to get a copy before they sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So limited print runs definitely make it nice for collectors.
Yep. Oh yeah. It's that scarcity does help. I mean, it's like any of the limited exclusive stuff I worked on over the last few years. It's that limited quantity thing definitely drives people to be like, I gotta have it. It's got to be mine.
Oh yeah, and that's where the variant covers come in. People love completing those sets. Like with Bill's, at the time I was looking at his Kickstarter, he has a reward for $700. You get all 16 variant covers, and he had something like 18 or 20 people backing that. So that adds up.
Oh yeah.
That's because people love to be completists. They want all of them.
Yes.
So we gladly fill that void, that desire.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Through
additional issues. But I hope people are actually taking the time to actually read the story, though, because I work hard on the story too. If I was just the cover artist, I probably wouldn't care. But I did write it, so I want people to read it.
Well, yeah,
that's why I throw in the unlimited edition in with the more collectible issue, so you can go and read it. So, and speaking of the stories too, like Rodney, yours, I love the Roadkill Rampage. I have so much fun with those ones.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That the cool thing, we did a Cincinnati Comic Expo, and that was the first show for us that felt like pre-COVID crowd wise and people spending money. But the
Nice.
thing that blew me away was everybody coming up. They knew about Roadkill Rampage. They wanted to know what we had available. They
Yep.
wanted to know if issue 3 was out yet. And
Yeah.
all of the feedback was positive. And
Yeah.
that was just, like you said earlier, that's something you can't buy. You
Right.
know, that feeling that's the, feeling of euphoria, because you're like, okay, we're doing something right. So
Exactly.
yes, that was,
Yeah.
for me, that was the best part of that show.
Yeah, it's so rewarding. It's just a whole different ball game, and it keeps you, it fuels you to keep going on. And for us, we work, working as a team with me, Brett, and Kevin. It helps. What we find interesting is each of us are talented on our own, but Crimson Shadows, the way we merge our different skills together, we feel like we have a much stronger product combined than any of us would have done had we done it individually. Like I can do my own inks, but Kevin, he's really good at the pure black and whites, and he loves horror, and so he's really good at getting the feel I want. Whereas mine tends to be more of a very clean style. He's good at getting the grit, and it's a much better feel for this product. So I feel like he enhances it. Whereas I think I would have detracted with my inks.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said for somebody that is able to capture that grittiness, if that's what you're looking for. So
right, so he captures the feel I'm looking for. So it just works really well, and it's been a lot of fun.
That's cool. Glad to hear.
So what are these all Inktober drawings you're doing, or are they commissions? What are you working on?
I am doing cards for, we have a bunch of shows that we're doing, and our sketch card stock was depleted. Some last few shows that we did. So I'm replenishing the stock, and for the net, we have some shows coming up here in the next 6 weeks that want to make sure. And of course, it's Halloween, so I'm doing a boatload of horror cards.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm working on.
Mine is a commission. I am wrapping up all my commissions from Clan McDonald event we did right before C2E2. So I'm whittling down the list here.
Nice. Is that pencils you're doing, Sean?
Yes.
Man, see, my pencils look like crap. When my pencils I got scribbles everywhere. And then I can kind of see what my final image is in the scribbles.
Right.
And then I do a nice clean ink drawing over it. But my pencils are so messy.
Your pencils are more indications.
Yes. Yeah. I'm kind of developing the image in my head as I'm doodling.
Yeah.
And then I can kind of see through the mess and know what I want.
Pull it out. Pull it out.
Yeah. But that looks really good, Sean.
Thank you. Yeah, I do a little bit of what you're saying. I will rough stuff out. Like I usually will start a quick rough in my sketchbook and then start on the actual piece, and I just rough it out really light with a like a 4 or 5H pencil.
Okay.
And then hit it with the kneaded eraser quite a bit before I actually dive in and start doing the finished pencils.
Yeah.
Then I'll take this and eventually hit it with ink and color at some point to wrap it up.
Nice.
So we got to hear the pitch that is Crimson Shadows. Were issue 3, right? Or 4?
Issue 4. Got 3 out. Okay. Yeah, 3 are out. And you, like I said, if you haven't been part of Crimson Shadows, you can get all 4 issues through the Kickstarter. And to help with the cost of that, I marked down actually issues 2 and 3. I put a sale price on those. So to help save money for people who want to get caught up and get the whole set.
That's cool.
Excellent.
So you can get that through the add-ons.
Very nice.
Yes, yes, indeed.
So do you guys have any other topics you were going to cover for tonight?
I think go ahead, Rodney.
No, I was going to say we were just going to talk about the She-Hulk. We're going to talk about a little more about Andor. We were already talked about We're Off by Night. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty organic. Whatever we stumble into is kind of where we go.
Have you guys watched the new Hellraiser?
Nope.
Have not.
That's on Hulu. I've watched some of it. I plan on finishing it. They really captured the feel of the old Hellraiser really well.
That's what
so
I've
far
heard.
what I've watched. It looks like they're doing a good job. So if you're a Hellraiser fan, I think you're going to really like this new Hulu version that they're doing. It definitely fits right in with the feel of that era of movie, you know, with the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brett and I were talking on our show on Musings about that, how there was something about the horror movies of the 80s where like the villains were so memorable that they were franchise makers. Whereas now horror movies, it just doesn't seem like whoever the bad guy is there was a charisma about the bad guys. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and that wasn't just in the horror genre. I think that was in Hollywood in general, because
I think you're right.
You had the Predator, and you had the Alien, and you had every character Schwarzenegger portrayed, Marty McFly, Doc. I could go on and on and on. You know, the entire decade of the 80s, the Ghostbusters. You know, I mean, it's just iconic characters that 40 years from now or later, everybody is still in love with.
Right.
And the hottest show in Hollywood right now is a Netflix series about the 80s, Stranger Things.
Right.
Yeah. I heard one person talking like the 80s and 90s were like, actually, it was Vanilla Ice. It was Vanilla Ice talking about it. But he said, if you notice, nothing new has come out since the 90s. Everything is a rehashing of that because everything since is just manufactured through reproduction. Like it's a copy of, it's not nothing new. Like even music, it's not like it used to be a band. You'd get together, you'd play in nightclubs, you'd write your own music, and you would grow a fan base and become huge. Now a team of writers get together in a room, write everything. Some casting guy goes out and finds talent, and then they assign the song to them.
Yeah,
you know, it's a production now instead of this thing that developed. So it's just different.
Oh yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Back in my day, actors actually acted.
Get off of my lawn, you!
I had to walk 5 miles to the movie theater.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm getting really close to the age where I can just yell out, "Get off my lawn!" So I am looking forward to that.
Well, see, the thing now is when you do that, you can TikTok it and stream it, and it'll get hits.
Make money.
Yeah, exactly. So monetize it.
Yep. My daughter does that. She makes money off of her TikToks. It's like crazy.
There you go. I will show you how.
Yeah, no one wants to watch me on TikTok, I don't think. Oh, look at that. You're even putting the stripes on his shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
And then I'll blend them in a little more so they're a little more muted. Yeah, this is fun. It's just getting the horror is fun for me because it's just I don't have to be George Perez. I can be, Sam Keith. And, Sam Keith is a lot more fun for me.
Yeah. No, it's looking good.
Thank you.
I do find, you guys both do full issues and stuff. Like, I really find, like, after I get done with an issue, because sequential art is so different from cover art or pinup art. And it like takes me a little bit to shift gears back. Like, I get used to drawing in a certain style for my sequentials.
Yeah.
And then when I get into my covers, it's like the first couple of drafts, I'm like, oh, this isn't working. But then I kind of shift the gears, and it's all different techniques that I use for that kind of art versus the sequentials. So it's always a shifting of gears, I find.
Oh yeah, it's a whole different animal.
Even like while I do it. So I do all my pencils at once. So I do my rough pencils first for the whole issue. Then I go back and I do my high-end pencils. Then Kevin does the inks, and then I do the flats, and then I do colors. But I do everything as like a big chunk because I hate the shifting gears. Get like, okay, how was I doing this? Especially in the middle of a scene. I find if I have to stop in the middle of a scene, work on other stuff, and come back,
Yeah.
I feel like I can tell that there was a break in my production there.
Oh yeah, I've gone back and like redrawn pages because of that very reason.
Yeah, the flow goes off.
Yeah, exactly, and it's very noticeable.
Let's see. Justin Butler is asking, did you see the Megan trailer that came out a few days ago?
Megan.
I saw it, and I'm trying to remember what it was. The Megan movie. It's got 3 in the middle. Oh, yeah, it's a horror. It's a horror's latest doll movie. It's a creepy doll. And it kind of is like Chucky.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember now. The long blonde hair.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, I remember.
I've not seen that yet.
Yeah, my first thought was it seemed a lot like Chucky.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. A new Chucky, the Bride of Chucky, or something like that.
Yeah. Nothing beats the original Chucky though. I didn't like the new Chucky they did. The CGI. He was like CGI or something. Mark Hamill did the voice. That part was fine, but I didn't like the look of the new Chucky doll when they did that. What was that, like 2 years ago?
Yeah, I haven't seen the new one.
No.
All right, Scott. Well, we're going to go ahead and let you go tonight.
All right. Thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it.
No
Keep
problem.
drawing.
Thanks for
Absolutely.
coming on. And we'll all jump on. Hopefully, we're all available to jump on launch night and give you all a hard time.
All right. Awesome. Take care,
All right,
guys.
Have a
Bye.
good weekend.
You too.
Yes.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
Scott.
All right. Always good to have Scott on. Scott's good guy.
Yes.
Does quality work.
Yes.
Let's see.
What was that? Oh yes, go click the notify and launch button. It is in the comments there. I'm gonna maybe show it on screen here. So the link's in the comments there. So Rodney and I started talking backstage a little bit about it, and I'm just anxious to talk with somebody about it that'll get a kick out of it. I finally got the opportunity to see Iron Maiden.
Oh yes, which I am jealous of because I have yet to see Iron Maiden.
So to give you the like lowdown of what happened here, I was getting ready I was finishing up some work, and I was going to see Cybertronic Spree Thursday night of, what was that, last week, I think, or week before, whatever. Can't keep straight anymore. And Jay Lyson texted me and he's like, "Hey, wife can't go to Iron Maiden." And he's like, "Do you want to go?" And I'm like, "That's Friday, right?" Not thinking in my head, "Duh, dummy, that's tomorrow." And it's like, all right, so I'm gonna ride up to Cleveland tonight, go see a concert, get home late, get like 0 sleep, and turn around, go to another concert Friday night, get no sleep, and then go to a con throughout the weekend. And so yeah, I called Steph and I'm like, "Okay, you got to talk me out of this because I just got this opportunity and we've got so much crap to do. Like it's not possible, right?" And she's like, "What is it?" And I'm like, "Well, Jay just asked me if I wanted to go see Iron Maiden." She's like, "Go do it. I'll pack. I'll do everything. Just go do it." Because we wanted to buy tickets and we realized what night it was and we had all this other stuff going on. We didn't want to leave the dogs in the cage, basically 4 days in a row.
Right.
And yeah, it was a bucket list concert. I've wanted to see Iron Maiden for a long time. And so I was like, all right, yeah, told Jay, I was like, yeah, I'm down for it. Tell me where I got to be, what I got to do, whatever. And yeah, we met up. They found a really cool Airbnb in Columbus and met up with them there. We rode over to the arena. I have never seen, like, I've been to the hockey games when they've had like really big games. I have never seen the arena this packed.
Oh, I bet.
the line wrapped around the building to get in, and it was just insane.
I could believe it. It's Maiden, dude.
Yeah, and so we got in line. We started, proceeding towards the security checkpoints and all that mess, and we get in there, and Jay's like, I'm gonna get something from the merch booth. And I'm like, you know what? This might be my one and only time to get to see Maiden. I don't know, who knows, whatever. I'm getting something. And it was also, Jay was taking his son for his first concert ever.
Oh man, that's cool.
And it was just awesome. We get in the line for the merch booth, dude. And the line like stretched halfway across the building. And we get over there and we try to find the end, and there's all these other people in a line. And then we find out there was a merch booth at each end of the place.
Yeah.
So we were meeting in the middle to get in line to go one direction or the other.
That's crazy.
And I'd say it probably took us almost a half hour to get through the line to get up to where we could buy stuff. And I picked me out a shirt with Eddie on it with, the tour dates and all that mess on the back and all that.
Did you get a tour book?
What's that?
Did you get a tour book? I
did not get a tour book. They have since hiked the price of T-shirts at a concert since last time I really paid.
Did you pay $50?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Last time I remember looking at them, they were like 35, and I thought 35 was crazy.
We went to see Bill Burr last weekend, and yeah, we saw his merch booth. I was like, keep walking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I totally had to do it. It was my first time getting to see him and all this stuff. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it upright. Did that, and then we sat in, and the opening band was playing, and I was not familiar with them, but the guys were kind of filling me in on who they were, and they sounded really good. Heard like the last, I think, 3 songs before they left the stage.
Who was it?
And what's that?
Who was it? Do you remember who it was?
Within something. I took a photo of it because I figured Steph would really dig it. They are apparently one of the bands that inspired Evanescence.
Oh, okay.
Within Temptation.
Oh, okay.
So like the lead singer is very like operatic.
Ooh, like
and it's not a Dutch symphonic metal band, and this was like their first or second time touring in the U.S.
Wow.
Something of that nature. So Jay and his buddy Tom were like super into it, but Jay was kind of like, I've seen him a handful of times. I'm standing in line to get a shirt. So we sat there and did that, and then they started like finishing up, setting up the stage for Maiden, and we were just off to the side. Row V, so however many rows that is back from the stage. Excellent seats, like these guys picked out some cool stuff, and it's like, all right, like I'm just waiting for it. And after seeing a concert the night before, my hearing was still kind of jacked. They were smart. They brought earplugs. They're like, It's gonna be loud. So I crammed those suckers in, and I could hear them as clear as day, even with the earplugs in.
Oh, yeah.
But holy heck, man, they do not disappoint. Their stage show is just epic. They're touring again next year. They are doing, they are playing one of their albums in entirety. Why can't I not think of it? It's one of the 90s albums. It kind of divided fans because they added synthesizers and all that mess.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember the name.
Yeah. So they're going to tour on that next year, and that sounds cool. It might be something to check out because I was sending like pictures and videos to Steph. I'm like, you will totally love this because they've got the giant Eddie walking around on stage, the fireworks, the explosions. Hell, at one point during the Future Past, yeah, I think that is the album.
Yeah, that's it.
Bruce Dickinson came out on stage with like dual flamethrowers on his arms and a giant pack filled with stuff, and was just hitting the fire coming out of these things. It was just like, we're sitting there in awe going, this is incredible. And holy crap, he's going to light one of these guys on fire.
Justin says, my Evanescence shirt was $60, a bit of a camo pattern to it.
Nice. Yeah, they definitely hiked those prices up on t-shirts, man.
Cameron says, these pieces are incredible, guys. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yes, thank you.
He says, it sounds awesome. They put on a hell of a show. My younger brother would love to see them. And one of the last shows I saw was Slayer on their final world tour a few years ago. They were insane. Yeah. I saw Slayer at Bogart's, a little venue here in Cincinnati. God, it was 89 or 90. That was a crazy show.
Nice. I have not seen Slayer. I would totally like to see Megadeth at some point.
You know what? I don't think I've seen Megadeth either. It's funny, the bands that I've seen and the bands that I haven't seen. Because like Danzig, War, Suicidal Tendencies, Sepultura, Nuclear Assault, Testament, Slayer, Guns N' Roses, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Pearl Jam, saw all those guys. But you know, I've never got to see Rage Against the Machine. You know, I've never seen Iron Maiden. I've never seen Metallica. So there's just only so much money you could spend in the 90s.
Oh yeah, I've seen Metallica 3 times. I saw them twice during like the Load Reload tours.
Okay.
And then saw them for the Y2K.
Nice.
Oh, why am I blanking on the name of it? Was that the Silver Dome? Yeah, that was the Silver Dome.
That's the only one I saw.
The new one. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sean.
Oh, you're fine. I didn't know if there was something we needed to do there. Yeah, I saw it was I did that Y2K show. It was at the Pontiac Silverdome. It was Metallica, Ted Nugent, Seven Dust, and Kid Rock.
Oh, okay.
So it was like, you know, the world was going to shut down that night at midnight, and we were sitting there, you know, rocking out to all these bands.
Sweet.
And I was in high school. It was my senior year, but oh my God, I was like sick as a dog the night we saw that.
Yeah.
I kind of fell asleep during the Seven Dust set.
Oh, man, that's such a good band.
I just never really got into them.
I've seen them once. So good.
Justin is going to see Megadeth and Five Finger Death Punch tomorrow. And Muse is coming to town next year with Evanescence of all people. I'm going to try to go. They're supposed to be pretty cool live. Nice. I'm curious to see like I've seen some like YouTube videos of like say Megadeth for example, and I was kind of paying attention to it because I could see that part of the stage at Maiden.
Yeah.
Was like instead of taking these giant huge amp rigs and all this stuff anymore, most bands have converted over to doing everything through digital stuff.
Yep.
And it was incredible seeing the Maiden guys play because like they weren't sitting there like jumping around hitting a ton of pedals on the stage and whatnot. They had somebody backstage pressing the button, changing out like their amp settings and all this mess. And so it was like they sounded like dead on to the album recordings. Wow. And I know Megadeth's been doing it. I've seen some behind the scenes stuff that one of their guitarists has released on YouTube and stuff. So it's pretty damn cool to see him doing it and seeing like how well it works. Because like I'd be afraid of like, oh god, something's like not gonna work and
yeah,
budge up somewhere.
yeah, that would be my worry as well. But I'm sure they have such redundant backups just for that reason.
Yeah. So yeah, the Maiden concert kind of eclipsed going to see Cybertronic Spree, which was cool in itself.
Now you got to explain that to me because I have no idea what that is.
So they dress like Transformers.
Okay.
And they go and they play some music for like hour and a half. They're not an electronic band. I don't know what producer A is smoking. No, they're a full-on like metal band. They got Hot Rod is their singer / bass player. RC is their keyboard / singer. Let's see, is it Rumble or Rampage? Now I'm forgetting. I think it was Rampage. Rampage is their drummer. Unicron is their guitarist, and so is the Quintessence.
Huh.
And Soundwave is like their little dancing maniac dude that comes out. And like we saw him at such a tiny venue. Like the venue is maybe our living room and kitchen combined. Like that's how small it was.
Wow.
And see, Justin says the Touch and Dare are such good songs, and they are. And they just tear those songs apart, man. They were just like you can kind of sit there and listen to it and be like, wait, is this from the soundtrack or are these guys actually playing it? They had a band from Cleveland that opened up for them, played a pretty big set list for an opening band. They had some dude called Weird Paul that came on and did like karaoke essentially. And he's got all these weird songs and he's insanely popular on the TikTok.
Okay.
And he looks like an adult version of Will Byers. Got the same haircut and everything.
Okay.
And we were just sitting there looking at each other going, what are we watching? And I was sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, we're watching the stick and rock of music. The guys lost it. Nate immediately texted it over to Jesse. And so the next day I had to find the Pot of Macaroni song to make him listen to it. And of course, Jesse loved it. But yeah, the place was so small that the guys actually walked out through the crowd to get to the stage and to leave the stage. And like they played all the Transformers soundtrack music. And then they played the theme song to X-Men. They played the Spider-Man theme song. They played the Pokemon theme song. They played Barracuda. So it was like this like eclectic mix throughout the set list.
Right.
And at one point, Soundwave was coming out and dancing around with everybody, and comes up, gives me a big fist bump and all this stuff. And then they get to the point where they're doing their encore and like, yeah, we're not walking all the way over there, going down the stairs, sitting back there for a minute and then waiting for you to cheer and come back out and all this nonsense. We're just going to sit here. And they were like, we're going to power down for a moment. And you guys cheer and that'll give us enough power to continue playing. So they did. They acted like they shut down and they kicked back on as everybody cheered and whatnot for the encore, and they finished off with the "Don't You Forget About Me" song.
Right.
So the singer Hot Rod, he came out in the crowd, like he's got a microphone it's not wireless. He's like fully connected to a PA system somewhere and is just dancing up a storm in the audience, high-fiving everybody, singing, going nuts. It was one heck of a show for being, such a tiny venue and, the most of the production cost all goes into these guys having these really elaborate Transformer costumes.
Right. It was a place. You said the place was packed, right?
It was like there maybe was 50 people there.
Oh, okay.
It was pretty light. The place is hooked to like they've got like a little bar. So like once the one opening act was done, we went over, grabbed ourselves a brewski, and came back and watched the next part of the show, and we had a good time.
Wow, that's all.
And these guys, like most of the venues around here, like you got to be done by 11 o'clock, or somebody's getting a bill.
Right.
And these guys were still playing at like a quarter after 11, and we start walking out to the car, and Brian's like, I'm not going to get home until after 2 o'clock in the morning. It's like, I'm supposed to have a meeting tomorrow.
Stop on the way and get you one of those macchiatos or something.
Yeah, we totally did. We stopped off at a gas station, got some caffeine to make the rest of the ride home, and got home. And we left from our place because we were the furthest north. That also meant they had way longer to get back home. These poor guys, like Brian, had almost like an hour drive to get back home that night.
Oh man!
But it seemed well worth it for everybody. We all had a good time.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, it looked like you guys were having a good time. That's too cool.
Yeah, we keep harassing Jesse, telling him he should bring the Cybertronic spree to Gem City. We haven't convinced him yet.
Huh. How do you think they'd go over?
I don't know. Well, we're hoping we can convince the folks at PowerCon, because it is right up the PowerCon alley.
Yeah.
But apparently they got to sell quite a few tickets to make it feasible.
Right. Where are these guys from?
Canada, eh?
Canada, eh?
Have to ask Andre if he knows them.
He probably did some promo work for him.
Heck, he's probably in the band. You can't tell who they are underneath all the makeup.
Right. That's right. That's why he gave you a fist bump.
Exactly.
You couldn't smell the pine trees on him?
No, I could only smell the energon.
So is it true? Did you do some break dancing, as Justin is alluding to?
No.
Now, come on. You can tell us.
I did some. I stayed upright for like 3 hours of watching the concert. I was managed to stay awake that late in the evening, and wasn't completely dying from standing up that many hours in a row.
Right.
But then I did it 2 nights in a row, and that was, well, I actually did it 4 days in a row, because I stood pretty much the entire con, because we literally had like 18 inches of space behind us.
Oh, geez.
They packed us in there really tight.
How was that?
Shoot.
Other than that?
What's that?
I said, how was that show other than them having you packed in like sardines?
It was pretty good. It was really surprising, because like it is a small press centered, cartooning and whatever type show, right?
Right.
So in my mind, I'm expecting, a crowd that is really into small press books in some way, shape, or form, whatever those might be.
Zines, yeah.
And the gentleman to my right, as I was sitting down, he worked on the Flash Gordon comic and Sally Forth. I think I'm saying that right.
Okay.
And he was a graduate of the Kubert School, and super nice guy, beautiful looking work, like totally fit that style of like like the old school, like heavy black, you know, like the really chunky line work,
right.
Trying to think of a good comparison. I mean, you know, he's a Kubert School graduate, and he had a little bit of vibe of Joe Kubert. Because I mentioned it to him because I was looking at his work, and it seemed to fall in this vein. To me, it reminded me of like a Milton Caniff type look.
Okay.
And so I told him, I was like, you guys, if you're in town long enough, you got to go check out the Ohio Historical Society. They've got this whole thing devoted to his work and stuff. Like, totally worth checking out. And they were excited about that. So like his work had like that kind of vibe, that classic old school feel.
Okay.
And I'd say he was probably in his 50s, somewhere in there.
Gotcha.
And like you said, you know, super nice guy, but you know, it wasn't, you know, it's Flash Gordon and stuff, like well-known things. So okay. And the gal behind me, whose name I like totally did not catch, but yet we like constantly throughout the weekend collided into each other because we had no space. She's the artist on one of the Sonic comic books.
Oh, really?
What's that?
She only did covers.
Oh, she only did covers on the Sonic comics. 4 covers. That's what I'm finding out. So, you know, it's Sonic, the freaking hedgehog. Dude,
right.
You know, got 2 movies. So, like, that was really, like, throwing off my whole, like, perception of what this, you know, show was in a manner of speaking, basically. And there was also a gentleman there that did the cover work for the Betty Page comics through Dynamite in the last couple of years.
Oh, sweet.
So, you know, just different vibes and, you know, different atmosphere. Now, there were a ton of folks there that had, like, their zines, whatever the proper pronunciation is. Lots of folks with, like, big, like, trade paperbacks or even hardcover books, like, that, you know, they put together, you know, big compilation of stuff. Impressive, you know, just to see those stack of books like that.
Nice.
Let's see. Trick Shot Master says hi from YouTube. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, how we doing?
So again, it's like, you know, my preconceived notion of the show is like kind of like shot out of the water after seeing some of this stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, kind of thinking the fans are going to be showing up for, you know, like super independent stuff, whatever. Our biggest seller were prints, mostly Ninja Turtles. It was just weird.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like I'm having trouble selling prints at some of these other shows that we're doing that are, you know, like beyond mainstream here. Like, but yet the biggest seller this weekend is prints. Okay. And I think that was because, like, yeah, there were a lot of like the fans that I expected that were, you know, super into the indie stuff and whatever. But there were a ton of kids coming over from Ohio State, Columbus State, CCAD.
Right.
And, you know, college kids, and they were like, hey, I got $10 to blow.
Yeah, I drove past CCAD the other day.
It says, tell him I the guy from the craft show. Rodney, I'm assuming they're referring to you.
Oh, okay. Which guy?
Clear that up for us, please.
Yeah, we ran into a lot of guys. Speaking of the craft show, real quick, I want to show this. We haven't really showed it off much.
Oh, nice.
The Fiona and Fritz piece that I did. So that's what I spent last week doing. So
that is beautiful.
Thank you. It's markers and colored pencil. Yeah. On watercolor paper to get that extra texture.
That's gorgeous. Trick Shot Master says the kid across.
Oh, okay. The kid. How you doing, man? Yeah, he's he's a young guy. He was there with his grandmother. I think it was his grandmother's booth, and he was asking, wanted to know, you know, how famous we were, he was looking us up on YouTube, and he initially looked up you, and he's like, I can't find you. All I can find is this guy. And I was like, oh, that's Sean. I said, no, you got to go with me. So he pulled us both up on YouTube and was like, oh, this guy's not kidding around. He is on the internet.
That's awesome.
How you doing, guy? He's like, yes, that's me.
Nice.
That's funny. Yes. So he told the truth. He came on to watch us.
Excellent. I handed out a ton of those postcards at Cartoon Crossroads.
Nice.
I hope some folks come to check us out, because I was handing them out left and right when anybody stopped by the table.
That's good. And we handed a bunch out too. So definitely get some more folks in and get them watching, participating. Justin said he saw Seven Dust at a tiny building in our state fair park. Fun show. I saw Seven Dust at Bogart's, which is our small venue here in Cincinnati. Seats maybe 2,000 people, maybe. That's where I saw a lot of I saw Danzig and Gore and all those bands there. I saw a Train there twice before they really blew up big. Matt Nathanson, he actually opened up for Train. He was really, really good. Yeah, but no Maiden, no Metallica, no Megadeth.
We're gonna have to look for a Megadeth show coming to town or something.
Yeah, that's just old school metal, man. That just takes me back to going, and me and my buddy used to, on Saturdays, we'd go up to the UC campus and hit all the head shops and all the cassette and album stores and underground. They sold underground stuff, and he's the one that introduced me to all that. You know, I was just listening to stuff on the radio at that point because that's all we had, and you know, he was hip to all this underground stuff that I didn't even know existed. So I was just like jumped into the deep end of the pool there and was like, oh, I love this stuff.
Nice.
All right, I think I am done with these two.
Oh, nice.
That is the first time I have ever drawn Leatherface.
I like it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Freaking creepy.
Yeah, it was fun. I'll do him again.
There you go, folks. Rodney needs to draw some more Leatherface. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Exactly. Commission list is open.
There you go, folks.
That Ronin is looking tight.
Thank you. I am down to my last 3 commissions for Clan McDonald.
Nice.
So I'm going to push myself really hard to try to get them done this weekend. Hopefully I can do it.
You can do it.
I'd like to get these wrapped up for everybody, and I got a couple of commissions on my list outside of those Clan McDonald, and get those wrapped up for everybody, which I think one of those should be Justin's. And hopefully get back to a standard schedule of stuff here for a little bit.
Sweet. That'll work.
I got to make sure I got my stuff caught up, because I hear next Thursday we're talking werewolves.
That's right. That's right. I got to get my werewolf on. That's right in your wheelhouse, huh?
That it is.
I love this time of year.
I do too. I have had a ton of fun just, going into all the different stores and just staring at all the Halloween stuff, and,
Oh, yeah.
going a little overboard getting some of the stuff. I started decorating the front yard. I need to finish it. Hopefully, some point this weekend we can do that. Got some stuff out there, but it's not done yet. I made some fun little. We have these giant planters, like they're huge. They got to be like, I don't know, probably about like 5 foot in diameter, close to it. I guess they're not that big, maybe 4 foot. And I filled them up with spray foam and some the old foam coolers.
Yeah.
And it looks really cool. It looks like stuff's like bubbling and oozing out of it right now.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to hit it with a little bit more paint. And then we bought a bunch of like bones and skulls and stuff. So I'm going to have it like floating in there.
Sweet.
Yeah. I love Halloween.
You guys get a lot of trick-or-treaters?
At times. There's been years where it's like we've only had a handful. And then like the last couple of years, man, like I probably a couple hundred kids, I would think.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't get any over here.
Yeah, like there.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody in the neighborhood still does it, but there for a while they were doing adult trick or treating.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, it would be like, hey, stop over to such and such address. We got like spiked cider and something.
We've got protein drinks and Aspercream.
Right.
Biofreeze and shots of tequila.
Get you ready for that next round so you can make it over to the next block with your kids.
Get you lubricated for that next street across the way. Justin, I'm with you, my friend. I love vampires.
Yes. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it. John Carpenter's Vampires.
Yes.
I dig that.
Yes, I love that show. I gotta check that out again, and I want to watch Near Dark again.
I don't know that one.
It's Hudson, Vasquez, Bishop from Aliens as vampires, and a couple others, and they are just nasty.
Nice.
Yes, it is a great flick. I mean, it's it's not Othello, but I think it's a great vampire movie. I love it.
Yeah, I started watching Monster Squad the other day. Getting in some of my Halloween fix here.
Right.
I think part of this weekend we're gonna have to take in a few more movies. Yeah, it's like Christmas time. We gotta watch all your favorite Christmas movies. You gotta watch all the favorite horror movies.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, I couldn't watch anything the last couple of days because I've been writing. It's too much for distraction.
Yeah.
Even if I have the TV on with no volume on, I find myself looking over.
Right.
So, like I put it over on the ESPN, and then I found myself stopping and looking at the headlines. I'm like, you know what? Just find that channel where it's the fireplace. And just put it on that, or the waterfall in the rainforest, or whatever it is, because you're not going to keep looking at that.
No, but then you'll have to keep running to the bathroom.
Well, yeah, that's why I hope it's the fireplace instead of the waterfall.
Man, all that water trickling. I'll be right back.
Man, I gotta go. Speaking of gotten to go,
Is it that time?
We've gone over.
It is that time.
It is that time.
All righty, folks. Well, thanks for tuning in and checking us out on this here Friday Night Draw. And don't forget, go over and hit that notify me on launch button on Scott's Crimson Shadows 4 Kickstarter launching on Tuesday. Any wise words of wisdom or anything to share with these fine folks before we sign out of here tonight?
Just come over to Indie Comics Network tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock and watch me on Sketchy Saturdays with C. Michael Laney, John Celestri, and the whole Hee-Haw gang. If you're looking for me, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Rodney Fyke Art. You can also find me on the Hasm YouTube channel. That's HAZZUM. has a YouTube channel. Easiest way to find me is to go Linktree and look Rodney Fyke. And yeah. Tomorrow, again, 10 a.m., Sketchy Saturday on the Indie Comics Network. Come check us out. What about you? Where are you at?
Find me on the Facebook, the Twitch, the Instagram, the Twitter, the whatnot at Sean Forney Art. Head on over to SeanForney.com to get links to our store and check out all the other goodies there. And find me on the YouTube by searching Sean Forney, and that should cover all of it.
Sweet. Trick Shot Master said he subscribed, so we're good.
Excellent. Well, thank you.
Cameron, enjoy your day at the zoo, and I'm sure we will be talking on Sunday.
Excellent.
All right.
All right, folks. Everybody have a great weekend, and come back and join us next week. Thanks so much, everybody.
Bye, everybody. See ya.